A few days ago, I was downtown Louisville, Kentucky, doing some street ministry, talking to people, passing out flyers, and I ran into a couple of Mormon fellows, which I got to talk with for a while. And I have been running into Mormons in Louisville and talking with them. Catherine and I got back from Gillette, Wyoming about a week ago, but it was about 3 days ago that I talked with these particular fellows. And we were talking about Romans 13 and the false powers that have set themselves up and that have been set up. And one of the young men said that he believes that these presidents of the United States that we've seen are not the powers that be that Paul spoke of in Romans 13. And I agree. And this same fellow, as we were talking about how the established church in general, we've seen conform to the false government, he said that his church is not a part of that government and does not conform to that government. And also, sometime in our conversation, he said that we need to obey the law. So I said, what law? So, as I got to thinking about this, I wrote a flyer on this, which Father has led me to this. This whole, I just keep coming back to this Mormon thing. There's something that, though all of these denominations and all these divisions that they have against each other are not the church, they're not the body of Christ. He's had me look into this. So I wrote a pack of flyers yesterday. I guess I call it a pack of flyers, but that's it right there. That's the top page of 7 on that one, and I took that to one of their temples today, this morning. On the top of that says, "Beware Mormon doctrines of devils." And I also took this with me, which I handed to some young men that were in the church there, and they didn't want to have anything to do with it. They didn't want to read it or anything. And they let me know that the office for the church was in another building, so they directed me there, and I went over to the office, and about 8 of them that were in there followed me over to the office. So they were standing in the office while I was in there, and there was a person behind the desk, and then there was somebody else that came out, so there was about 10 people in there that I got to talk with for about 20 minutes to a half hour. I came in the office saying that I had been passing out these flyers right here to these guys that are out with the white shirts, and I said I think it would be a good idea if you know what I'm telling these guys. You know, I kind of came in with that attitude because usually when I go in a place, they don't want to hear. They just don't want to hear. So I said, this is what I'm doing. I'm passing these out. I'm going to keep passing them out. And I think it would be a good idea if you saw what I'm saying here about your religion. So it ended up being a good thing because I got to say a lot of things that Father led me to talk about. I got to talk about the counterfeit Israel that the mainstream established church is saying that, you know, that is Israel, that is the Israel of God, which it's not. You know, this thing that they set up shortly after World War II, these corrupt persons, so they pitched a flag in the sand and called it Israel. You know, we see some terrible things coming out of all of that, don't we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one that I just wrote, and I'm going to put it online somewhere, and then I'll put a link to it under this video in the description box so that you can click on that link and you can get to read what I'm passing out here. It's only going to be a matter of time, people, before these false powers and these false prophets crash. One of the young men in there was talking to me about Joseph Smith, and I told him, I said, why do you believe Joseph Smith, or the things that Joseph Smith says, over the things that I might tell you? Well, this was a little bit earlier on, before things, you know, were kind of opened up, and people were feeling a little bit, you know, like they could talk. Because it was kind of an uptight thing when I came in there with the pentagram, Fraternal Order of Police pentagrams, and the Beware of Mormon Doctrines papers. You know, that kind of, you know, right from the start was, you know, created a little bit of tension. But, you know, so after, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, you know, we're talking more and more and more, and they were asking me questions. One of them even asked for a flyer. So it was a good meeting, I say, that we had there. But Father has been leading me to pass these things out. I have been passing the other ones out, the ones with the Fraternal Order of Police pentagrams on them. I've been passing those out for the last few days. Anyways, I haven't been you know, doing videos. Last video I did was when we were in Wyoming. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about these things and keep you all posted to what's happening. Thank you.